Abisuya memo kwaba eroba daily update TV so enkomo bi akoso ewo radio good pampa so na enkomo no nyina chim efa osahene Alexander Afenyo, the leader of the minority in parliament. Now abisuya not too long ago it say on their demonstration honorable Alexander Afenyo, the video was circulating a video them say while assaulting a police officer. Maybe video natural. According to lawyer Amaleba Kingsley, Okupimo already good. Then come on no allegedly Abushian Simbian and Comodo Abiano. Abushian allegedly a trick your film. Yabaka TNT above supporting videos at the show. Now fast forward case in Anzem. According to Radio Good, Jumedia Corso, Kingsley Amaleba, and according to the pronunciation by the host, Ranford Cable Atichima, investigations reporter, a far Afenyo on the assault, whatever investigations be a far Afenyo Mobile, including alleged assault of a police officer in account, Attorney General Officer. They want to prosecute allegedly. Now, lawyer Malaba Edin Commoner may answer na medoba konkomondin so. Jenhwe video way Afenyo Markins assault police officer no emra. That is the video right there. You say there was a time they were doing demonstration at this alleged assault video security. Now yet was what lawyer Amalba Square or a law student and as a case Amalba NDC National Communications Team member Akroma. Honorable Afenyo Markins and shall report on Akupimo and the Attorney General Office in regarding to investigations, couple of investigations at Efano Akupimo no and also in case I video no na Emma.
Enti yanko blame nipa A and nipa B. Afenyo Markins someone no see parliament and no wakano. Brought to power not getting basa when any audience or parliament. He doesn't have conscience. And if you are looking for one of the most dishonest and unprincipled politicians or political characters in Ghana, it is this guy. I agree with the editorial, the statement you made. Yeah, NDC for the man who crying, if a report, an investigation has been made about this guy, and the report about him is available, and have been submitted to Attorney General, why are we not making it available to the public? Yeah. He had the gut to slap a police officer. This character. Even the call or a Freemason in Ghana. You see, sometimes we need to exercise certain restraint. Yes, and someone who become it will not be fitted for public consumption. And the American said, at the moment, for the sake of a leader we have, the commitment and the zeal and the passion he attaches to the oath of office, the preparedness to solve the problems, no matter how grievous they are, I have a firm belief and hope say these matters will be dealt with. But the challenge I want to say, assembly someone penny you they should be up and doing. Like I said before, a mere personal opinion. Man penny always sharp with via on starting fin the MMDC is no. Or more number binding sensitive form.
Na eno chini na host no HM say what say reports a far from your markings investigations or mention some of the investigations said the lawyer Amaleba Kingsley Amaleba Ekan National Communication Team member Ekan my NT Njama transport so can you be ransom from ewo Kevin Taylor na so in regarding to chama to me and a year lawyer Atigya, the new lawyer. No, but first for you go to video no number.
Etene NDC party begua. Ejina president mama so 2.5 years na ka no. Se party so be di ya ejina president mama so. Reasons ni nie. Kwame na Pejomakin air call for parliamentary probe. Is that not it? Other things we are mate or say sikana buy any baba boa sonko forcene one more flag na do me no abani me chiro mo penny bia no woman accountable. Mr. President, the alleged Bonnie any sika and people for a comedy Ghana for fast no and yet I want to go and yet your friend is saying Hanan and Kwa and yet national service from Kwa, but in all cases, you know, these are notable names and crimes are supposed crimes are so my illegal mining, SM Bank, same Babako, not a financial service scandal. Not a fast sky train. Not a fast sky train, me boy. A fast sky train, yeah. No cock of Adiabako. And you might cross one people by no. One who come up with your market or accountability, no. Boss. They say, Senka, about what he's saying, which I know some of it. But Senka about when you bripa a capeno marking po and says what Casa Akroma. But Sabi and ne one will come sacramai Sabi. Any given platform or come sacramai Sabi. Or come sacramaya or bake. Kwame Pejomakin was brought here, ECG, Aguno. Ghana water, and Akufa the Ghana water. Akufa the first time. Kwame Pejomakin was bought here. And the Matiti said, CID for investigating the report I'm Attorney General. Etika MPP me SN Hwai. I was some under Akufa and now no call for say gentle parliamentary probe to investigate a committee under John Mahama. And now, gente, yama account, and man say, Sika abowing.
And that is what Atigya is saying. Say he is going to court tomorrow, and that when he goes to court tomorrow, he's going to ask for 6 weeks. 6 weeks to do what? 6 weeks to write his submission. The question here is, your press conference will not change what happened on the pitch. Your press conference wasn't part of the rules. Your press conference, it is not what FIFA is looking at. FIFA is looking at what the referee basically at the end of the day saw as good or not. Inti Atigya right now is saying, say, now, wabano, sa game in a course, we should go back there for documents in Yinama. We have 6 weeks. Now, let me show you something. Now, this was the ruling. I want all of us, and I've read this thing here about 3 times. Time Atigya, time Apia Kubi, Eko Kachire court to say, onye lawyer to Eyadi Echema would me be no. He went there. Thank you very much, team. I will add this to it. I think you did you add this? Did you send this before or you just sent this now? Now, time Apia Kubi, Muka say court kakachire court to say on person be Echema would me lawyer be no. The judge said something to Apia Kubi. And it is very important because and no and I was a judge, she or he needs to stick to. Now, yanko time Apia Kubi court kache judge and say or no Apia Kubi no or nye chema wontimi lawyer biem nemum Atigya and ebe ye chema wontimi lawyer. Now, the judge said something that day during the ruling. Now, during the ruling of the judge, I have it. I'm trying to move it to the system. Thank you. During the ruling of the judge, Okabibi, And no, me pese ochna, the judge must, with all due respect to the judge, with all due respect, I believe the judge should or must stick to those principles. Because I have seen, say, MPP for any attach yamono, omu pese omu delay court no. They say they just want to delay the court. They just don't want the judgment to happen. And with all due respect to the judge, we want the judge to stick to principles because so far, judge na prove say or your honest judge and yet personal issues in the case in so. And yet obi no tano or pese obi enya that fair hearing. I believe say ochina before a judge no ebetie attachia. Ghana for munim nyansa munim say asama yeken, we are basically speaking on the issues. The judge should first go back to his or her own hearing, ruling. And no enebechere say sebio asama attachia kind of court or chinano a tasuma na sen tasum. Because with respect to attachia asama or deba, it's all about written submission. And we know the honorable judge or the case we know, he or she he has spoken or she has spoken on this witness written submission. Now let's do this before we go back to her ruling, because Enona, with all due respect, we are putting out that the judge should consider her own ruling. Because if we sit in Ghana and we are in a country where Obia to minya criminal case. Na eka 2 weeks my judgment aba. Na obe use this same president as a defense to fire their lawyer to get a new lawyer there. Then no case will end in Ghana. Say, and the court not allow this kind of abuse. The court not allow it, chairman to me lawyers to abuse the court in this way. The issue here is a day will come. Nipe bi edit be court. One, obe delay court na for 2 years. Now, it do 2 days. Now, you be judgment. Obe catch the Ghana for you say we changing a lawyer. Okay, just say we there. I didn't know I say also imbrebi, and with law, it's all about precedents. Imbrebi Ghana law court ya. Nandi pebi wo court. Na aka 1 month my the judgment aba. Or can say we changing the lawyer. Emma court ji to muma sebio yes static case. So this is a very dangerous path we are taking. And we are not supposed to allow Atachia to hide behind something called a written statement or written addresses. Now, written addresses now Atachia ko jina ho court or channel. What does it mean? Before I read judge, the ruling when Apia Kubi Eko Chen so onye chema wuntumi lawyer bi mu, the judge na kasa fa ka ekafa written submission ho. The judge herself or himself. Now, let me show you this. The main legal basis written submission come from. Now, written submission and the case we na judge a lawyer and can say, "Minam a lawyer to Kevin Taylor make share my opinion on the case." And if written submission. Now, a High Court or Civil Procedure Rules 2004 CI 47. This is what it says. In civil cases, the rules allow the court to direct parties to file written addresses submissions after evidence. It is therefore procedurally mandatory once the judge orders it. It is therefore, and this is in civil cases, the case we are faced with in court today, a criminal case. So in civil cases, any criminal cases, it is therefore procedurally mandatory once the judge orders for it. It is a civil case, say judge orders written submissions, that one you have to do it. And that only applies when it is civil cases. In civil cases, as I didn't see. Now, criminal procedure practices. So when it comes to civil cases, what happens is the civil procedure rules, which is the 2004 CI 47. In civil cases, any criminal cases, Chairman want to make case where a criminal case. In civil cases, when the judge orders for written submission from the lawyers, it is an order and everybody has to put it in. Now we are looking at Chairman Wuntumi's case, which is the criminal case. The distinction is very important. Criminal procedure practice. In criminal trials, there is no universal statutory requirement. In criminal trials, Right now, appear attaching or yet lawyer to chairman to me. He's trying to make it mandatory. This is a criminal trial. Written submissions are not mandatory, and the judge's ruling, she said it or he said it. But the reason to attach court or channel say he is a lawyer to chairman to me who is facing a criminal case, right? Now, the law actually say in criminal trials, there is no universal statutory requirement that written submission must always be filed. There is nowhere just a criminal case, what we call written addresses must be filed. There is nothing like it always has to be filed. You can decide not to file it. Nobody cares. Because at the end of the day, it does not affect the evidence before the judge. That evidence, the judge, I call it the judgment. This is a criminal case. Now, when you read further, that's what it says. However, courts increasingly use them as part of fair and efficient trial management, especially in the court, and say, Judge, mommy, 6 weeks, I need to write my written state addresses. It is not mandatory, and the court is not supposed to grant it. Because without it, the judgment can still be read. So what Atatya is going to do tomorrow, our court in front of the judge, the judge herself or himself about 2 weeks ago made it clear her point. And I don't think, with all due respect to the judge, with all due respect, I don't think that judge will eat her own words back. Now, when you do a little bit of reading on this same judicial discretion, now, judicial discretion, and this was still under this 2004 CI 47. It says, judges in Ghana have wide discretion to, 1, order written submission. Judges in Ghana have wide discretion. And we say judicial discretion. Judge in so pay on in the deciding. When you say discretion, send your wow pesa we ye. One kasa, jumba opese ekoso. And yamra and a show. So, your friend, judicial discretion. Judges in Ghana have wide discretion to order written submission. So, the judge could decide or can decide not to order for any written submission. 2, set timelines. The judge can decide not to set timelines and can decide to set timelines. 3, or proceed without them if unnecessary. The judge can go ahead and write their judgment without written submission, without the lawyer's opinion, without the lawyer's own understanding of the proceedings. The judge can still write their statement without even asking for any written submission. In fact, it is an option. It is not mandatory. What Atatya is trying to do, Atatya is trying to force the court to do something that is not mandatory. What is happening right now when it comes to written submission or addresses is optional. It is only in civil cases. And when a judge demands for it, even that one, the judge has to demand. In a civil matter, it is the judge who has to demand. But in criminal cases, no, it is optional. To me, has appointed a new lawyer. What did the judge say? And let's be fair here. This is a judge for a long time. Wa accommodate the chairman to me. Wa accommodate Wa accommodate all the things Apia Kubi aye. Now it looks like say Atatya wants to take over from Apia Kubi in this kind of cunning delayance when it comes to this criminal case. Now let's go back quickly. I had now say pay all the attention, and it's about Judge Nankasa or no. Time Apia Kubi Bejina the Nimka say, me lawyer match ma won't be they say Atatya neba into delay with judgment. Then a judge we ankasa kanye. This is the same judge with respectfully. Ochina Atatya Eko Jana Nim say, or no Atatya demanding. Because at this point, Atatya is demanding. Atatya is telling the court that the court needs to do that. But in law, in Ghana's legal law, the issue is it is not mandatory in a criminal case for written submissions to be demanded. And I say, without written submissions, a judge cannot go ahead and pronounce judgment. No. Now, so we read Judge Nankasa, ne Savio the ruling when it comes to day now Apia Kubi echo the nimna. In fact, let's read this one. They be me read this document where me de read and efa hono. Then a judge ne kan timer appear could be ko nim say onye de onye chairman wuntumi lawyer bim. E then a judge ne kan. This is the ruling from the judge. This is a few weeks ago. It mo me judge in the position on a written submission. Ansana ochina attaching a court. Ako kache judge ne say because of written submission, judge into judgment in shada. Let's see a year the judge in case when she was or he was ruling on that appear could be issue. What did she say? What was her opinion, legal opinion on written addresses? Now, I'll say, consequently, since filing of closing addresses is optional, time na appear could be catch a judge and says, see, I mean, chairman won't be lawyer beam. Attach an obano, says, no, or then a eba betro written addresses, ain't a case no judgment, to another date, send a judge the catch and see. Consequently, since filing of closing addresses is optional and not a function of the rules, that is to say, there is no provision under the rules compelling the lawyer for an accused or prosecution to file an address. According to say, addresses are optional statements made by lawyers. Listen, addresses, written addresses are optional statements made by lawyers to articulate on the merit or demerit on the case one way or the other. Or see, what we call written statements are optional. In fact, those written statements, they are done by lawyers to what? Tell people their opinion, to articulate their opinion about the whole game. It is like a press conference. Technically, written submission or addresses, which lawyers write after cases are heard